and the religious practice. And he protects his devotees. He destroys the miscreants and reestablishes the principles of religion. What happens? Kamsa comes, the demons come, and it's the same with Ravana. All these demons who've come in the past. They come. What do they come to do? They come to destroy the Brahminical culture, to kill the cows, and to make everybody bow down to their demoniac way of life. And Krishna comes, in this instance, to stop this and re-establish the principles. So, the advent of Krishna, I will jog my memory because I'm very tired from fasting, so I won't read literally from the book. I just needed to jog my memory because I'm so giddy with fasting. So Krishna comes, he advents. He's born in the Yadu dynasty, or the Vrishni family of the Yadu dynasty. And his enemy, Kamsa, is born as the son of Ugrasena in the Bhoja dynasty. He's a very it's a demoniac line of kings. And after hearing the prophecy from the sky, he is told that the eighth son of Devaki will be the person who kills him. And he becomes immediately alarmed by this. He's taking Devaki, who was his sister, and his brother-in-law, Vasudeva, to the marriage ceremony. And he immediately becomes extremely angry and envious and threatens to kill Devaki. Vasudeva pleads him with good instruction not to do this and promises that, you don't need to do anything now. You only have to do this when an eighth child is born. And he manages to persuade him and pacify him. But he does not need to do this. But still, Kamsa is only pacified for that moment in time. And he goes back to his advisors, who are demonic, and they convince him that he must eliminate the eighth child, and to be sure, they advise him that he must kill all the children that are born to Devaki to make sure that this happens. So this remarkable pastime occurs through the internal potency of Krishna, which is Yoga Maya, the most important potency of that. He has many potencies. The Vedas state clearly he has multi-potencies. Parasya Shakti Vividhaiva Shuyate. Potencies can be considered as so many potencies, but there's three main branches of those potencies: Samvit, Sandhini, and Hladini. The Samvit potency is represented by Krishna, and it's his internal potency. And the most chief amongst those is the Yoga Maya potency. The Sandhini potency is represented by Balaram. He is, in his expansion as Balaram and Mahavishnu, creates the material cosmos and maintains it and annihilates it. Lord Shiva is an expansion of Vishnu. And then there's the Hladini Shakti, the loving potency, which is represented by Srimati Radharani. So prior to the birth of Krishna, Dauji, his elder brother, is born. He's the seventh child. Lord Krishna instructs Yoga Maya under the imprisonment of Kamsa and Devaki and Vasudeva, and at the present moment my plenary expansion, Shesha, is born within the womb of Devaki. You can arrange the transfer of Shesha from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. After this arrangement, I am personally going to appear in the womb of Devaki with my full potencies. Then I shall appear as the son of Devaki and Vasudeva, and you shall appear as the daughter of Nanda and Yashoda Vrindavan. That daughter is Subhadra. Okay? So different forms, different expansions, but Yogamaya herself takes birth as Subhadra. Balaram is transferred by Yogamaya to from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini, who is under the protection of Nanda and Yashoda in Gokul. Many of the devotees, because of the terrible persecutions of Kamsa and his demonic kings, other demonic kings, scattered the Yadu dynasty. Some of them are living in caves in the mountains, some are living with Nanda Maharaj, and they're just hiding from the persecution. So the Supreme Personality then is born in circumstances. Devaki and Vasudeva are in shackles, imprisoned in a prison in Mathura, and Krishna appears in her womb in his four-handed form, first in the mind of Vasudeva, and then in the mind of Vasaki, in the heart of Devaki, and then manifests in her womb. It's not an ordinary seminal birth. It's something. He appears full of, with a lotus club, discus, a chakra, and club in a four-handed form, and nobody can see the effulgence that happens with Devaki because she's in a prison, and she becomes fearful and prays to Krishna to appear as a normal two-handed form, and he appears as the form we know him as, Krishna, that beautiful two-handed, lovable, naughty boy, and which everybody loves. He's known as Kanai amongst his intimate associates because he's so sweet, and naughty is an affectionate name they give for him. So, knowing that there is danger, Vasudeva and Nanda have had a previous discussion. Nanda has advised, before the birth, Nanda has advised Vasudeva that there will be trouble and you will need to seek shelter away from the persecutions of the demons. So, again, is Yogamaya potency. Krishna arranges for Vasudeva to physically transfer Krishna to the care and protection of Nanda Maharaj. Yogamaya unlocks all the shackles of Vasudeva, opens all the doors, puts all the guards to sleep. Vasudeva leaves in a storm, lightning, thunder, has to cross the Jamuna River. The Jamuna River is a tempest. It's a storm. It's actually gigantic waves, and it's foaming, spilling over the banks. But Jamuna still provides a path for Vasudeva to proceed. Still, and lowers the level of the water, and he can cross. Nor Shesha, with one of his hoods, protects, like an umbrella, Vasudeva from the rain and the lightning and everything like that. And he he brings Krishna to the care and protection of Yashoda and Nanda, and takes one girl. Takes one girl, one of the baby girl of Yashoda, and he returns, makes the return journey, places the child with Devaki, and Devaki does not know she's being put into Yoga Nidra, actually, which is an aspect of Yoga Maya potency of the Lord. She doesn't know the gender of the child that she's given birth to. Vasudeva comes back, locks the doors, puts all the shackles on, so that Kamsa will not know anything he hopes. But Kamsa discovers that Devaki has given birth, and he wants to grab the child. He grabs the child, prepared to kill it, even though it's a girl, it's the 8th child. And when that moment, the child slips from his grasp through the potency of Yoga Maya and goes into the sky and tells him, and it is actually Durga, it's Durga who's this 8th child. And she tells him, you cannot thwart your destiny. Your destiny is to be killed by the 8th child, and he is already taken born and is elsewhere. And he is infuriated by this. So, Kamsa's life actually is a tragedy. Many people misunderstand. He knows his destiny. He can do nothing about it. We'll read this chapter. It's quite moving, actually. He wants to kill his sister again. He wanted to kill her when she was pregnant, but he thought twice about it. He thought, if he killed his own sister when she's pregnant, he would lose any reputation he had. So he reasoned and thought he would previously threaten to kill the children. But he begs forgiveness from Devaki for killing all her children. He said, you can't blame me. Actually, this was not done by me, because all these are predestined activities. One has to act according to the predestined plan, even unwillingly. I request that you not be sorry for the death of your children. Everyone is under the control of the superior power, and that superior power does not allow us to remain together. We are bound to be separated from our friends and relatives in due course of time. But we must know for certain that even after the disappearance of the different material bodies, the soul remains intact eternally. So then he says, actually, this is done by destiny. Please forgive me. My dear sister Devaki, you are so gentle and so kind. Please excuse me. Don't be aggrieved by the death of your children, which I have caused. People must understand that with the end of the body, the self dies, or they think that one can kill another living entity. All these misconceptions oblige one to accept the conditions of material existence. In other words, as long as one is not firmly convinced of the eternality of the soul, one is subjected to the tribulation of being killer and killed. My dear sister Devaki and brother-in-law Vasudeva, kindly excuse the atrocities I have committed against you. I am very poor-hearted, and you are so great-hearted. So take compassion upon me and excuse me. While Kamsa was speaking to his brother-in-law and sister, tears flowed from his eyes and he fell down at their feet. Believing the words of Durga Devi, whom he had tried to kill, Kamsa immediately released his brother-in-law and sister. He personally unlocked the iron shackles and very sympathetically showed his friendship, just like a family member. This is inconceivable, huh? It's very moving. When Devaki saw her brother so repentant, she also became pacified, forgot all his atrocious activities against her children. Vasudeva also, forgetting all his past incidents, spoke smilingly with his brother-in-law. Vasudeva told Kamsa, "My dear fortunate brother-in-law, what you are saying about the material body and the soul is correct. Every living entity is born ignorant, understanding this material body to be itself. The conception of life is due to ignorance. And on the basis of this ignorance, we create enmity or friendship, lamentation, jubilation, fearfulness, envy, greed, illusion, and madness are different features of our material concept of life. A person influenced like this engages in enmity due to only to the material body. Being engaged in such activities, we forget our eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead." So I could read. So Kamsa then is compelled, he's so apologetic, then he goes back to his demon counselors, and then they start preaching to him heavily. They say, "Dear sir, let us now make arrangements to kill all the children who were born within the last 10 days in all towns, countries and villages and pasturing grounds, because they know Krishna has escaped. They want to kill everybody." And so it goes on, and we know the shloka, and eventually Kamsa is killed by Krishna. So this is why the great souls, the great acharyas, the great spiritual personalities rise above this level of duality and have mercy on all the compassionate souls. Kamsa is killed by Krishna, is killed by the hand of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he's immediately liberated to the spiritual world. After all, Kamsa and was his brother in this, I can't remember the name, but in previous Leelas, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha and so on, they are Jaya and Vijaya. They've come to play a Leela so the Supreme Personality can play a pastime to show the material souls, the fallen souls, the Jiva souls, the Jivatmas, how to get out of this material entanglement. Mercy is above justice. In this age of Dvapara Yuga, Krishna comes to kill the miscreants. In this age of Kali Yuga, we all know, Lord Chaitanya comes. He is the little Supreme Lord himself. But he doesn't come to kill. It's the Leela of Jagai and Madai. He shows that in that Leela, whereby Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur go to preach to Jagai and Madai to try to bring their fallen brahmanas, their killers, indescribable crimes they commit. Thieves, drunkards, persecutors of the devotees. And when Lord Nityananda is hit on the head with a pot and is bleeding, and they go back to Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu becomes very angry, and he goes to actually kill them. He calls for the Sudarshan chakra to destroy them, but then Lord Nityananda intervenes and says, no, you have not come to kill in this age. You've come to give your unfathomable mercy to save the fallen souls, which is the chanting of the holy name. So this is the distinction between the Leela of Krishna in Dvapara Yuga and in Kali Yuga, because everybody is so fallen. It says in the Shastras that in this Kali Yuga there are truly no Brahmanas, no Vaishyas, no Kshatriyas. Maybe some Vaishyas are left, and most people are Shudras, but as Kali Yuga progresses, that becomes less and less and less, and people become Yavanas and Mlechas and worse. So that's this nature of this age. If he came to protect the devotees and kill all the miscreants, he would kill 99.9% of the human race. He doesn't come to do that. He comes to save through the mercy, through his Nityananda form, who goes to every town and village, trying to engage drunkards, meat eaters, engages in illicit sex, all the fallen nature that we see around us in the world, to come to take the holy name to save themselves. And then the means for that is Harinam Sankirtan, which is the Yuga Dharma, the chanting of the holy name. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never constructed a temple. He instructed Rupa and Sanatan to construct temples in Vrindavan. He went every town and village all across most of India, not all of India, because Lord Nityananda went to the places where he didn't go, in the Himalayas, for instance, and certain other parts of India, but chanting the holy name, and inconceivable. That is how he spread it. It's Harinam Sankirtan. And the only thing that can wake the fallen souls from their terrible condition is Harinam Sankirtan. And it was true for me. Many, many years ago, I showed the devotees when we go chanting Harinam Sankirtan in central London. I showed them where I lived in a flat on Charing Cross Road, and I saw the Harinam Sankirtan party go past every night when I lived there. And I thought, this is really sweet, they're chanting Hare Krishna, and it sounded sweet, it sounded nice. And people were saying, that's all to do with religion and all that. It's one lady was a feminist, and she would say, why are the women behind and the men in front and all this? And I said, that's irrelevant. They said, listen to it, it's so sweet. And so that began to wake me up, and eventually, I won't go through the whole story, but tonight's not about my coming to Krishna consciousness, but I'm just trying to emphasize the point. It woke me up. And that Harinam Sankirtan is so important. And when it's the Yuga Dharma, it's what Lord Chaitanya, Krishna in the form of Lord Chaitanya, requires us to do. We have to do this as our Dharma. It's not that we can't just come to temple, that we take prasadam and we have nice sangha, we mix amongst the devotees. You must go out and do the Lord's service. If you want real connection with the Lord, you must do his service and chant in the streets and wake up the fallen souls. You allow yourself to be an instrument. When we go on Harinam Sankirtan, sometimes it's so uplifting. Please, Lord, use me as an instrument. But when you say it, some people are woken up, some are not. Some hear the name. Some go, they don't want to hear it, but it's penetrated. It's gone in by the mercy of Lord Nityananda. Some will smile, some will jing and start dancing, and some will join in with our kirtan. And so it's really quite uplifting to do that. And you uplift yourself when you come off. And I don't know about anybody else, when I come off Harinam Sankirtan, sometimes I can't sleep. The energy is so surcharged me. It's like the adrenaline's flowing. It's not adrenaline, I can't sleep at night, and then I eventually fall asleep. But it uplifts you. It brings joy in the heart. You do see things which are, pretty unsavory, because you see the full fallen nature of Kali Yuga, meat eating, illicit drugs, toxic intoxication. People are very, very sensually dressed, and they're cheating themselves. All those defects of the human being are there to the max in Kali Yuga. And you see it in central London, and you go straight in there. And that's what Swami Maharaj did when he came to the West. He came directly into this. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada came here and transformed the whole world. Transformed it. Right in amongst this. No thinking, they're not qualified to be, devotees. Yes, they can be devotees. You can come from such a fallen state to being a devotee. It is possible. So, on Krishna Janmashtami, I appealed to the devotees who don't go on Harinam. You have so much culture, so much spiritual culture, and good behavior and good standards to offer. You need to show that in the streets, right in amongst this degraded. Jai Shri Shri Guru Garanga, Ksunda Radha Giridaju Ki Jai. So shortly we'll start Aarti, and then I'll just conclude with that appeal. Right, we're running 20 minutes late. Okay, so we can talk some more. Okay, I thought we were just about to start. So, this is extremely important, particularly in this time when the fear of this pandemic has made people think about their mortality. People are very frightened. And they're thinking about the meaning of their lives when it could be cut short, just like that, by some invisible virus. And so I was talking with one devotee from ISKCON who came to our deity installation festival on Saturday. And he said he's finding now that people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, they may receive the book or come to temple. The seed is planted years ago in many people, and they need encouragement to come. Millions of books have been distributed. So much Harinam Sankirtan people have heard. And they need to hear it more now, more than ever, to actually fructify the seed that was planted, so that they come. Because this is what stems the demonic influence, the influence of the demons. Is the Harinam, there's the Maha Mantra. Harinama, Harinama, Harinama eva kevalam, kalo nastyeva, 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 gatiranyata. It's the only way. The chanting of the holy name, the chanting of the holy name, the chanting of the holy name is the only way, is the only way to spiritual realization in this age. It is the name, it is only the name. The chanting of holy names of the Lord. It's not just chanting of the Maha Mantra is the highest. Chanting names of Lord Rama, chanting names of Lord Balaram, chanting any names of the Lord is beneficial. But the Maha Mantra, the great mantra, this is the highest form. It can bring the highest form of bhava, the highest form of love. And that is what Krishna came to bring. It's what Lord Chaitanya came to bring. Lord Nityananda came to bring, to distribute it indiscriminately to anyone without any consideration for their condition of life or their mentality. And it's so that you see that in any spiritual mission, you people who are jagais and madais, and you see people who are devotees who are, very learned brahmana people, all mixed in one. It's Krishna has done this. This is how it's meant to be. And together, because even the brahmana is trapped in this material world. Whether you're a class A prisoner, a qualified brahmana or Vaishnava, unless you're sent by the Lord with a specific empowered personality. If you're a class A prisoner or a class Z prisoner, you're still a prisoner in this material world, and you're can be subject to the cycle of birth and death. It tells us in the Shastras that Chaitanya Charitamrita, if you miss this chance to take up to this Krishna consciousness, if you come to it, particularly if you come to it and just sort of give it up, you don't know what will happen to you in your next birth. You may be cast into another life form. You may, if you miss this opportunity in this particular period of Kali Yuga, this particular Kali Yuga, then you may be kalpas, millions upon millions of lives before you come back and get another chance. This is fact. I find that I found it quite disturbing when I read that first time, but it's not to bring people through fear. It's when Lord comes to bring them through love. And that is what he expresses in the chanting of the name. To forget all about that, just absorb yourself in the name. The gopis of Vrindavan, for example, the highest servitors of the Lord, they're not the gopis of Goloka Vrindavan in the spiritual world. They acquire their position by thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands, countless lifetimes of dedication and service to Krishna on this plane. And they're the highest servitors. And they have zero knowledge of Shastra. It's not necessary. We read the Shastras to enliven our minds, to take our minds away from other sense objects and thoughts, so we can focus our mind on Krishna. But the real process is surrender and service. And the most potent way in which you can surrender to the Lord, everybody can preach. I do not consider myself a particularly good preacher. There are far many better preachers in our mission than myself. But the way in which you can do it yourselves is to preach the holy name on the streets and chant Hare Krishna. You must do this. You must come on our Harinam Sankirtans merging everybody to do this is more important than ever in this time, to check the demonic influence and uplift the fallen souls. And I was talking with one gentleman only last night. He came, he's a Hindu, perhaps a lapsed Hindu, if you like. He came yesterday, and we spoke with him. He said, yeah, I see you on the streets. So you make people happy. People smile, and people enlivens people. And that's the effect that the potency the name has. It's so powerful, it can overcome anything. Anything it can overcome. It's astonishing. People are unaware of the fact that they're not devotees, but the vast expanse of vegetarianism that has occurred in this country over the last 50 years is entirely due to the chanting of the holy name. They only understand it indirectly. Before Prabhupada came to the West, there were 250,000 vegetarians in this country. Now there are between 10 and 20 million. It's astonishing what has happened. It's because of him chanting. And also, Krishna arranged. It's his arrangement. I spoke about this with my own Gurudev. When the Vaishnavas and Hindus were evicted from Kenya and Uganda, they came here. They came here to help that process, part of Krishna's plan. You were part of that plan. Your fathers, mothers or grandmothers or grandfathers, whatever, were part of that. They came here to actually help that process. And the decline in cow killing in this country is also astonishing. 30 million people in this, I think it's 30 million, I've got to get my facts right here. 30 million don't eat the cow and 20 million don't eat red meat. That's the other section of the population that's not vegetarian. These figures are astonishing. The British meat industry, the slaughter and the killing, cow killing industry, the animal killing industry survives on exporting abroad. People in this country, I want to know. So that is the potency of the holy name, and it's part of Krishna's plan. I discussed it with my Gurudev, and the gurus that you see on the wall there, they're surrendered servitors of the Supreme Lord. It says in one of our Psalms, Samsara Dava, the Guru Vashtaka, Samsara Davanila Loka. I believe this is true, and I know this is true. They are God in the form of Guru. Genuinely, it's a rare thing, to come in contact with such personalities is a very rare thing, and I pinch myself sometimes. How is it somebody like me, born in a fallen family, got this opportunity? How is it possible? But it's happened, it's happened to all of us. And it says, Shaksha Daripana Samashastra Uktastata Bhavyate Sabi Kintu Prabhoya Priya Vachasya Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam. The Supreme Spiritual Master is Krishna in the form of Guru, yet he is not Krishna. He's beloved by Krishna. It's a Chintya, simultaneously one and different. So through service to the Guru, to service to Vaishnava, and to chant the glories of the holy name, in this way we can benefit ourselves. The benefit is to us. It's up to the Lord whom he decides to liberate, to bring to Krishna consciousness. We just have to be the instruments for that. So, again, going back to the pastimes, Vasudeva shows incredible humility. He meets after he has done his great service of taking Krishna to Gokul. He again meets with Vasudeva and Nanda meet. Vasudeva is extolling the virtues of Krishna to protect to protect the brahmanas, to protect the animals, to protect the children, to protect the cows. Vasudeva is a Kshatriya, and Nanda Maharaj is a Vaishya. They're not brahmanas. And Vasudeva continues to talk about the maintenance of religious principles, and it's everyone's duty to his fellow citizens and the cows are not put into difficulty, that we protect them. It's our duty to our fellow jivatmas, the souls out there who are suffering, and that means everything from, it means all, not just the human beings, it means all the animals he's referring to here. On hearing this, Nanda Maharaj replied, "My dear Vasudeva, I know that you are very much aggrieved because the cruel King Kamsa has killed all your sons born of Devaki. Although the last child was a daughter, Kamsa could not kill her, and she's entered into the celestial planets. My dear friend, do not be aggrieved. We are all being controlled by our past unseen activities. Our karma, that is. Everyone is subjected to his past deeds. And one who is conversant with the philosophy of karma and its reaction is a man in knowledge. Such a person will not be aggrieved at any incident, happy or miserable." Vasudeva then replied, "My dear Nanda, if you have already paid the government taxes, then return soon to your place, because I think that there may be some disturbances in Gokul." He accepts all that and says, he's not complaining, he accepts it as his karma. It's not his karma, he's playing his pastime role by Lord Krishna, but he's teaching us that all he's suffered is his karma. It's not, it's his glorious service to the Supreme Lord. But this is how he's presenting it. And our gurus never preached that they were representative of God. Never, they all will say, "I'm just a fallen, humble soul trying to do service to my Srila Guru Maharaj in the disciplic succession." And never angry against the worst, and anybody who caused trouble to the devotees. Always forgiving of them and always kind to them, never saying unkind words or nasty things about them. So you have to try to proceed. It's very difficult. Trinadapi sunicana tarodapi ishnana manina and Siddhahari. Okay. So we have to proceed with humility, tolerance, giving respect and honor to others, and to be sincere. And what does it mean? It means to be more humble than a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree, and give respect to everyone, not expecting any honor in return for oneself. These are the principles by which you cultivate Krishna. We have to cultivate Krishna consciousness. Even, I think it was Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he first heard this, and he is a great guru in our line, he thought, I have no hope. This is impossible. Srila Bhakti Raka Sridhar Maharaj, when he first heard it, he also said, how can you achieve this? I mean, a tree has its arm, has a branch chopped off, right? It doesn't complain. The grass is walking on and trodden, it doesn't complain. This is how you have to try to cultivate oneself in this world. It's not easy, but if you surrender to the Guru, surrender to Krishna, then he says, very easily you cross over this Mayak world and come to me. So that's the key. Anybody want to say anything? Anybody want to make a contribution? No? Too shy? Any questions? No questions. Okay, so then I'll speak a little longer till it's time for Arti. So, even in the form of Krishna, although he kills many demons, and in contrast again with Lord Chaitanya, he doesn't kill anybody. He shows great mercy. We see that in the pastime of or the demoness Putana. Kamsa and his fellow demoniac kings send many demons to Gokul to try to harass the Brahmanas, harass Krishna, disturb the cows, just disturb spiritual life. And Putna very cleverly disguises herself as the most beautiful personality. They think that she's a gopi, but she's so beautiful, her presence is so wonderful, that they just accept that she must be a highly exalted spiritual personality. Not even Yashoda, many of the other carers of Krishna, ladies, see this lady as a demoness, and they bring her into the family life, and she gets to hold Krishna, and she eventually gets to suckle him on her breast. And this is why Krishna is again Yoga Maya for our pastimes, for our understanding. And of course, she suckles. She has she's told by one demoniac king to actually do this, to kill Krishna. She puts poison on her breast, and Krishna, of course, knows this. So he engages in her pastime as if it's a service. And he suckles her breast. And he sucks out the milk, but he sucks out her life airs. And she dies. And then she falls, and she grows into this gigantic demoness. And I think if I'm correct, the body shows up to be, fantastic as it may seem, I think 12 miles long. And they then, the coward men, they then chop up the body and burn it, as is done in traditional Vedic sacrifice, and it creates a sweet aroma right throughout all the forests of Vrindavan. So it's not like ordinary killing. This is something fantastical and mystical, which makes it very difficult to understand it. Yes, her fallen body extended up to 12 miles and smashed all the trees to pieces. All the trees went back home, back to Godhead. They're living souls, they're living entities. And after this had happened, Mother Yashoda and Rohini and other elderly gopis immediately performed the auspicious rituals by taking the tail of a cow and circumambulating Krishna's body. The child was completely washed in the urine of a cow, and the dust created by the hooves of the cows was thrown all over his body. This is purification, because the cow, everything about the cow is holy, particularly the cows of Vrindavan, particularly the forest cows, which are amazing. This was all just to save little Krishna from future inauspicious incidents, as if they're serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's untouchable, he cannot be killed, but still, he's allowing these devotees to have a relationship with him. This is in Vatsalya Ras, loving this baby boy, and this is so sweet. After this purificatory process, the gopis, headed by Mother Yashoda and Rohini, chanted 12 names of Vishnu to give Krishna's body full protection from all evil influences. They chanted as follows: My dear Krishna, may the Lord, who is known as Maniman, protect your thighs. May Lord Vishnu, who is known as Yagna, protect your legs. May Lord Achyuta protect your arms. May Lord Hayagriva protect your abdomen. May Lord Keshava protect your heart. May Lord Vishnu protect your arms. May Lord Urukrama protect your face. May Lord Ishvara protect your head. May Lord Chakradhara protect your front. May Lord Gadadhara protect your back. May Lord Madhusudan, who carries the bow in his hand, protect your eyesight. May Lord Vishnu, with his conch shell, protect your left side. May the personality of God Rupendra protect you from above. And may Lord Takashya protect you from below the earth. May Lord Haladhara, that's Lord Balaram, protect you from all sides. May the personality of God known as Hrishikesha protect you, all your senses. May Lord Narayan protect your breath. And may the Lord of Shvetadvip, Narayan, protect your heart. May Lord Yogeshwara protect your mind. May Lord Prishnigarbha protect your intelligence. And may the Supreme Personality of Godhead protect your soul. While you are playing, may Lord Govinda protect you from all sides. And when you are sleeping, may Lord Madhava protect you from all danger. When you are working, may the Lord of Vaikuntha protect you from falling down. When you are sitting, may the Lord of Vaikuntha give you all protection. And while you are eating, may the Lord of all sacrifices give you all protection. So there are many understandings of this. So they're invoking the different incarnations of the Lord to protect the Supreme Personality of God himself. Why? Because they don't see Krishna as the Supreme Personality of God. They see him as a wonderful, beautiful boy. Nanda Maharaj, when he thinks that my son is just an exceptional personality who's got incredible mystic powers. This is how he sees him. Because, and Mother Yashoda, when Krishna puts the clay in his mouth, and she chastises him, and he looks in his mouth to get the clay out, and she's looking in the mouth, she sees the whole universe. She's seeing something. And then a cat screams, and she's distracted, she's distracted from doing that. She says, oh, that was just an illusion in my mind. Yeah. These kinds of things. So they can have these sweet relationships to enhance the play of Krishna, to satisfy his devotees and increase his own pleasure and their pleasure in sweet pastimes, in the Shakya Ras, Vatsalya Ras, Dasya Ras, Madhurya Ras with the gopis. Each gopi who dances with Krishna, they think exclusive, they have exclusive relationship with Krishna. That's how it is. He does it in each way with each personality. Just like our Gurudev, the one that you felt you were personally the most important person to him. Everybody felt like this. This is the kind of love that's given by a Sadguru. And similarly, Arjuna, when he's empowered by Krishna, is Krishna's friend. He doesn't really fully understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality. Even when he has some understanding, but not really fully. He's praying to Krishna, he accepts, I surrender to you, you the Supreme Personality. I will surrender to you and do as you instruct and engage in the battle of Kurukshetra. But after the battle of Kurukshetra, he cannot protect. His powers are taken from him. He can't fight like a Kshatriya because everything depends upon Krishna. Even the ability for you to breathe and walk depends on Krishna. Everything depends upon him. And then he falls down at the feet of Krishna. Oh, I have offended you so much. I've been too familiar with you. I've looked upon you as practically as an ordinary being, or exceptional ordinary being. Please forgive me. He's begging for forgiveness for his offenses. Because he's a friend of Krishna. He plays with Krishna. They play fight together. They sleep in the same bed together. He slaps Krishna on the back. Hey, Krishna, let's go to the forest today and go milk some cows or something. Like this. It's quite incredible that you can have ordinary human relationship. This is the sweetness of Krishna. It's it's unlike any other incarnation. The pastimes of Krishna with his devotees are not like the other forms of the Lord, like Lord Narayana or even Lord Ramachandra. Lord Ramachandra, it's one of reverence. He's a king, a Kshatriya king. And you can't have an ordinary, sweeper in the street cannot have a relationship like that with a king. So the pastimes of Krishna are unique, and they're there to demonstrate that he is the highest form of the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Radha Shyama playing in the groves of Vrindavan with all his cowherd and cowgirl friends. So this is the super excellence of the pastimes of Krishna. And that he plays on his flute. Sometimes there was Murali, Vanshivata, it's had many names. And within that, many tunes, the fifth note is Hridini Shakti. Okay? But there are many other notes. And he's manifesting through sound the entire cosmic creation and all the living entities in it. And so he's all attractive. People are attracted by the flute. These two features of Krishna, his associates, and playing on the flute, and also the beauty, his beauty also is unparalleled. It's attractive. It's so powerful it attracts Cupid itself. So Krishna is the supreme Lord of all. Another pastime Oh, I haven't finished with Putana. I've digressed slightly, because Putana, after this extraordinary attempt to kill Krishna, she's playing a pastime. She is liberated to Goloka Vrindavan, and she becomes one of Krishna's mothers. He has so many mothers, thousands. He has 16,008 queens in Dwarka, so many mothers. And she becomes his wet nurse. She plays the same role in Goloka, and she's known as Ambiki Kilimba. She's one of his wives, so he's played a role, liberated to the spiritual world. Anybody killed by Krishna is liberated. They may go to Vaikuntha Loka, they may go to Goloka Vrindavan, they go to somewhere in the spiritual world, some level of consciousness they will achieve. And it's by his own sweet will. We can't say that if someone is killed like this, they go to Goloka or Vaikuntha. Again, it's by his own sweet will, his desire, according to his sweet pastimes. It says here, after burning the body, smoke emanating from the fire created a good aroma. This aroma was due to her being killed by Krishna only. This means that the demon Putana was washed of all her sinful activities and attained a celestial body. Here is an example of how the Supreme Personality is all good. He never does anything mistake. It's not like in this world, if you kill someone that's good, bad, or good deeds or bad deeds. It's beyond this duality. Putana came to kill Krishna. Jai Shashi Guru Garanga Sunda Radhagiri Daju Ki Jai. But because he sucked her milk, she was immediately purified, and her dead body attained a transcendental quality. Her only business was to kill small children. She was only fond of blood. But in spite of being envious of Krishna, she attained salvation because she gave her milk to him to drink. So what can be said of others who are affectionate to Krishna in the relationship of mother or father? Something higher. Those who love Krishna, those who adore Krishna, worship Krishna, and follow his instructions and preach on behalf of Krishna, all the devotees, they are in a better position than someone who's envious Krishna. They absorb their minds in love. Kamsa, they absorb their minds in envy and hate and anger, but still they achieve Krishna. It's a contradiction. It doesn't mean that we can do the same, that if we angrily go about killing for Krishna. No, we can't. This would be great foolishness. We cannot imitate. We have to surrender and serve. So it says here, devotees therefore pray that if by simply offering something as an enemy, Putana got so much benefit, then who can measure the benefit of worshipping Krishna in love and affection? That's even higher. That's something that the demons don't get. They're not on the same level as the devotees. One shouldn't worship Krishna to expect some result. It should be unconditional, without any regard for any result. That would be karma yoga. You want fruit, you want the result of your worship. That's cheating, that's stealing from Krishna. He owns everything. He owns you, your body, the whole of the creation. Everything belongs to him. So you can't take anything from him. You can the only thing that he will give you is service and love to him. But there again it says, here it's stating, one should only worship Krishna if for no other reason than so much benefit awaits the worshipper. Although Putana was evil, she gained elevation like the mother of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is clear that the cows and the elderly gopis who offered milk to Krishna were also elevated to the transcendental position. Krishna can offer anyone anything, from liberation to anything materially conceivable. But the pure devotees, they reject liberation. They reject anything material. And I'll come to explain that in a moment. Therefore, there cannot be any doubt of the salvation of Putana, whose bodily milk was sucked by Krishna for such a long time? And how can there be any doubt about the salvation of the gopis, who were so fond of Krishna? Undoubtedly, all the gopis and cowherd boys and cows who served Krishna in Vrindavan with love and affection were liberated from the miserable condition of material existence. Finish. Okay, I have to finish. Okay, I'm being told by the mother of the ashram that I have to desist. We now have to have Aarti, wonderful Aarti, to Lord on Sri Krishna Janmashtami. Thank you for allowing this opportunity to say something about the Supreme Personality of Godhead and Krishna Janmashtami. Jai Srila Bhakti Nirmala Acharya Dev Goswami Jai, Jai Srila Bhakti Sundar Dev Goswami Raja Ki Jai, Panchakalpata Rupis Jai, Kripa Sundar Vaya Chai, Patinam Pavani Bo Vaishnava Yonama, all the devotees Ki Jai, all the assembled devotees Ki Jai.
Jai Sripad Mahayogi Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai Guru Varga Ki Jai.
So let's get the cushions away so we can answer us. And put them all in a pile. No. Okay. This one, put them on there.
नंद के आनंद भयो जय कन्हैया लाल की